愛し愛し合うのさもっと激しい乾きに狂いそう目を閉じて静け
This is a small village. If the deaths continue to spread, all of Sotoba could disappear before long.
Mr. Moroi? Are you Seishi Moroi?
Yes, that's me. Who are you?
You're a fiction writer. I like your books a lot.
You've read my books?
Why? Is that strange?
Not at all. I'm glad you have. But I do have to say, you are probably my youngest reader.
Yeah, maybe. I did have trouble with some of the longer words.
So, is reading something that you enjoy?
Very much. I read a lot. My dad has your books on the shelves in his library, so I borrowed them. There were 6 full-length novels and then 2 shorter ones. If that's everything, I've read all your work.
Incredible. That's everything I've done. It's very nice to meet you. I've never known anyone who's read them all.
I've seen your essays in magazines, too. There's one line, this village is surrounded by death. You meant Sotoba, didn't you?
I'm impressed you figured that out.
If you've read the article, it's not all that hard to tell where the author lives. You just look up maps, cross-referencing the author's bio and the temple's name. You said the village is like a shrine. That sounds nice. I bet my dad was thinking the same thing. He made the decision to move here after reading that essay. I was very interested in you, Mr. Moroi. I wanted to meet you.
Well, now that you have, I hope you're not disappointed.
A little. You're more ordinary than I expected. Yes, I imagined you'd have horns and a tail. I thought you'd look different because you always write about people who have been forsaken. Now I understand. You don't have horns, but you don't need them because you have a scar.
Who are you?
I'm Sunako.
Well, Miss Sunako.
Do not call me miss. I despise that word.
I can teach you at least one thing. Do you want to hear? That cut on your wrist was useless. People never die doing it that way.
You're right. It was useless. Of course. I suspect I knew that.
They were most likely infected by now. I don't think they're gonna make it.
Yasu, too.
Yeah, him too.
Oh, it's you. Sunako, right?
Good evening, Mr. Moroi. What is this place? I didn't even know that anything was up here.
Well, these are the old temple grounds.
Temple, huh? it's some kind of church? It doesn't really feel like a church, though.
It is a church. Well, it was, or at least that was what they had in mind when they originally built it.
I see.
I'm sure I've got a spare flashlight in here somewhere that you can borrow. I guess you could say this place is like my hideout.
Stained glass windows. Kinda creepy, though. Is that man on fire?
That's called Mino Odori.
So whoever built this must have had some kind of obsession with martyrs.
It seems like it. I think that it was built by someone from Kanemasa.
Kanemasa? Oh, that's right. That's what all the villagers here call the land my family lives on.
Sunako, do you always walk around this late at night?
It's the only time I can. I have a medical condition that gets worse when I'm exposed to daylight. We actually moved here to help me recuperate.
Oh,
I wasn't trying to make you feel bad for me, Mr. Moroi.
well, that's not the only thing I feel down about. My childhood friend and his son might die, and they're both so young.
So if they were old and dying, it wouldn't bother you as much?
That's not what I meant. But still, don't you find it particularly terrible when two very young people have their lives cut short?
I think death is equally terrible for everyone. Young people, old people, the good, the bad, it's always the same. It's rather fair in its treatment. There's no such thing as a particularly terrible death, and that's why it's frightening. Your behavior and age, your personality, your wealth, beauty, your personal beliefs, all the things that add up to make us who we are, they only matter while we're alive. Death makes every last one of them null and void, so any death is terrible.
Sunako.
I guess I should start walking home now. Is it okay if I come see you again?
You're welcome here any time, but the woods are dangerous at night, so I don't encourage it.
I have half as much freedom as everyone else. I can't give up what I do have because it's risky. I'll bring your book with me next time. It'd really mean a lot if you'd sign it for me. Mr. Moroi?
Sunako,
I saw your light from the window of my house. Do you remember what you promised? I brought the book, so you owe me an autograph.
I must admit this is a little
Thank
embarrassing.
you so much. I'll cherish it forever.
Sunako, are you certain it's a good idea for you to leave the house as often as you do?
Ah, I see what you're saying. You don't like me pestering you, is that it?
No, not at all. But with your illness, you're especially susceptible to infection.
That's true. It sounds like you've been doing some research on my condition. That's sweet of you. But there's no need to worry about me. My mom has the same illness. We have a live-in doctor at home.
I see. Then there's something you and your mother both need to know. I don't want you to tell anybody else, but an unidentified disease is going around the village.
You've no idea what it is?
No, I don't.
This disease, is it dangerous?
Yes.
Oh no! We came all the way out here for our health, and now it's even more dangerous. There's no way to know, though, I guess. And at least I was fortunate enough to meet you. Can I still come and visit sometimes?
It's up to you. You don't need my permission for anything. But please, try to be careful.
Are you feeling down again?
I'm worried about my friend Toshio. People are dying, and he's frustrated and angry that he can't save them. I want to help him, but I don't seem to be able to do enough. The things I have found out make no sense. And so he gets upset and lashes out at me. Except it's not me he's angry with. He's mad at himself for what's been happening. He doesn't normally take his anger out on others. He's a good man. That's why it's hard to see him like this.
It's difficult to see a friend hurting, isn't it? I'm sorry for Dr. Ozuki. And for you, Mr. Maroi. Abject solitude. Unfair discrimination. The pain of being forsaken by God.
What are you talking about, Sunako?
I'm talking about your novels.
My books?
Of course. Those are the main ideas you return to again and again. They're in every book. Reading them, you can tell the author's lonely. He identifies with his characters. Perhaps he too feels like he has been forsaken by God. But I'm not quite sure. Why do you write them? I don't understand. Why do you write these stories? Even I can tell that you're lonely, but you don't seem at all like one of the forsaken. So why?
I don't know. I can't really explain what I write.
Maybe I'm wrong. You do seem a little forsaken today.
Do I really?
What are you worried about? Why are you worried about me?
It's your illness, Sunako. It concerns me.
Why should it?
I care about you.
That's very sweet, but it doesn't change anything. Don't worry about me. I can live with my illness. At least I have you to talk to.
Is that enough? You say I'm lonely, but you seem very alone yourself. You're trapped. Your world is nothing but nighttime and darkness.
That's true. Yes, maybe you're right. The pain of being forsaken. It's real. It's much too real.
Just think, we don't even know how many there are. Even if it's just the recent deaths. Add those to Kanemasa, and it comes to more than 10. More than 10 enemies that we have no clue how to fight. We can't charge blindly into this. We need a plan.
I'm saying, I think I've figured out what's been causing all the deaths. It was Okiagari. From now on, I'll act based on the belief that Okiagari are real.
It's the only time I can. I have a medical condition. It gets worse when I'm exposed to daylight. I only have half as much freedom as everyone else.
What Toshio said. If it is actually true.
It's much too real.
Sunako. That means you really have been forsaken by God. Look, the lights are still on in the village.
They're here.
It is possible that they can see in the dark, which is bad news for us.
Is that something you want on your head, Seishin?
Mr. Maroi!
Sunako.
It's gotten cooler. Fall has arrived. The night smells quite different when the seasons change. Are you upset again?
I'm okay. Did you come here to cheer me up?
Of course! That's my duty as your loyal fan. So, there's something that I wanted to ask you. That book you're writing right now, what's it about?
It's about the wilderness, and a man lost in it. He killed his younger brother and was exiled from his town, forced to wander in the wasteland. But his dead sibling still follows him. That's the story.
So, his brother is a ghost?
Not a ghost, exactly. He's Shiki.
Shiki?
A walking corpse. The name I gave to people who died and then rose from their graves.
They're more than ghosts! ghosts then? So they have bodies and can walk around and everything? They didn't come back to life, they found a life of their own. So, they're equal to humans, right? They aren't just unknowable creatures who have to be hated, are they? I guess no matter what happens, they'll still be different, won't they? Shiki, I approve. It has a nice ring to it. You're drawing from the Bible now, aren't you? It's Cain and Abel. The older brother Cain killed his younger brother Abel out of fear, right?
Sunako. You wanted to ask me something, but I also have a question for you.
What is it?
Are you able? I wonder, are you Shiki?
You are certainly the romantic, aren't you?
They suffer from a serious illness that compromises their immune systems.
Why can't you act more like a vampire and less like the guy that I used to know?
I'm sorry.
If you get hungry, you can have my blood. We'll think up a solution for all of this together. Until that time comes, instead of killing anyone, take this. Somehow we'll escape. We'll go somewhere away from Tatsumi.
We can't! There's no escaping him!
Just get over here and feed on me, Toru. Do it now!
It's our nature as Shiki to hunt people. They're our natural enemies. They have to be, because if we don't attack them, then we die.
Shiki. Huh. It would be so nice if that wasn't how things had to be. We didn't choose to become creatures like this after all.
It'll be all right.
But it happens. A horrible hunger comes upon us. A hunger so painful no human could understand it. It's something no one could bear for long. And so soon enough, killing people becomes natural to us. This is a story from long ago, when there were still more burials than cremations. Once there was a little girl from a very wealthy family. They lived in a fashionable mansion, a giant house with many rooms and dozens of servants to see to their every need. The girl's life was a happy one. She grew up in comfort with 2 loving parents. But that changed. A strange man came to visit, and her life was never the same.
A summons from Kanemasa can only mean one thing. Punishment. Being called in by Sunako is especially bad. That means you're getting a severe penalty. In the worst case, death.
Have a seat.
Shiki can't eat regular food like humans do, but they can drink liquids if they must.
Go on.
She's playing human.
You look sad. I hear you've been unhappy ever since you killed Natsuno Yuki.
Well, isn't that natural?
Personally, I don't believe there's anything wrong with attacking humans.
How can you say that? This is just systematic murder!
Self-pity isn't an attractive quality. If you're going to feel so badly about it, why not kill yourself? This reminds me of a story. A long, long time ago, when burials were still more common than cremation, there was a young girl who felt much the same way you're feeling right now. One day, she awoke to find herself in utter darkness, trapped inside a coffin. She cried and screamed for what felt like forever, until at last, someone came to save her. And then, I attacked the man who rescued me.
She said I
had to. I was so incredibly hungry. Shortly after I returned home, I was sent off to a nameless town far away. They kept me locked up in a storehouse. Once a day, someone would come to bring me food. Every day, I attacked whoever came. So every day, a different person would appear. When I think back, it frightens me a bit. I'm certain now that in spite of what I was, my parents were still finding a way to feed me. I learned a great deal during my days inside the storehouse. In time, I came to understand what kind of creature I'd become. Eventually, I ran away. I attacked indiscriminately as I made my way home. But when I got there, strangers were living in my house. My family had moved away, so I went looking for them. I looked for a long, long time. Years passed. So many that there was no way my parents could possibly still be alive. Even knowing that, I kept looking. Eventually, so much time had passed that surely even my little sister would long since have passed away.
I don't get it. Why would you tell me that story?
Maybe because I thought you of all people would understand that little girl. I thought that you might know how she felt.
What now? What do I do? Hello? Who's out there? If you're lost, maybe I can help you. Talk to me.
Please, go away. Don't come near me. Please, don't look at me.
Are you Torumuto?
Just stop talking!
Would you please come out into the light?
No, I can't. How can I possibly face you? He's dead. I killed him. Natsuno, he was my best friend. You have to know that I didn't want to. But they threatened my family. I had to choose between their lives and Natsuno's life.
You were forced. You had no choice.
Except Natsuno gave me a choice. He said we could run, find a solution. No, I can't make excuses for all the horrible things that I've done. Just now I attacked somebody else. I don't want to kill, but I get so hungry. And if I don't eat, I know I'll die. So then I lose all control. I kill even without being ordered to. When you get that hungry, murder doesn't seem quite so immoral. You have to kill, even if the victim is your best friend. I'm not going to make excuses anymore.
I'm sorry.
Please, leave me alone. Forget we even had this conversation, or I don't know what I'd do. I'd have to.
People may think what you've done is wrong, and maybe they're right. But who can blame you for wanting to live? It's natural to fight for your life. No matter who you are, the thought of death is a terrible thing.
And death is equally terrible for everyone. Young people, old people, the good, the bad, it's always the same. There's no such thing as a particularly terrible death, and that's why it's frightening.
No death is particularly terrible.
I've already dug my grave. But I have to put my posthumous name on the marker. And I have no idea how to come up with a proper one. So could you please?
No one knows for sure when they're going to die. That includes you too. You could die tomorrow or live for years to come. The important thing is that you never give up. However much time you think you have on this earth, make the most of it. I'm the last one who should be giving this girl advice.
Is that something you want on your head, Seishin? I can't allow their contamination to spread unchecked.
You say I'm lonely, but you seem very alone yourself. I can't.
You are certainly the romantic, aren't you?
You have a phone call. It's the mistress at the temple.
Oh. Yes, thanks for waiting.
Oh, Toshio, good. Is Seishin with you up at the clinic?
Seishin? Why?
But no, he's not. What's wrong?
Seishin's missing? No, I haven't heard from him. Of course. Goodbye. Seishin. What now? What answer have you found? What I don't understand is why he stays with you if he's human.
What's this? Curious about us?
No, not especially.
He stays of his own free will, just like Mr. Muroi. Oh, you didn't know? He paid a visit to Sunako this very evening. Betrayed by your best friend. How sad. Are you shocked?
No. I thought that he might do something like that. His idiocy doesn't surprise me at all. No, I just know Seishin very well. Stop it.
Including you, I've only known 4 Jinro like us. We're relatively rare. Sunako was the one who originally came up with the term Jinro.
I can't wait until everyone becomes Shiki. I'll finally be able to walk around freely. I'll go shopping and chat with my friends. A little like playing house, huh?
That's what you guys want, to play house?
Kind of. A safe base is what we're really after. Some place where we don't have to hide who we truly are. Just a little longer. Soon enough, it will all be ours.
You sound sure that it'll go smoothly.
Sunako says the final stage will be the most difficult. But we've come this far, so I figure we're golden. It's nothing, but how sweet of you to notice. Silly me, I was peeling a potato and my knife just slipped.
Yes, that happens to me all the time.
I'm so clumsy, always injuring myself. My daughter says that you can't tell if I'm cooking or being cooked. Isn't that just so embarrassing?
Your food's getting cold.
Yeah.
Sunako, we've got trouble.
What is it, Tatsumi?
Chizuru's been killed.
Tell me what happened.
It was Ozaki. He took her to the shrine for the festival. He killed her in front of everybody. He probably did it in order to prove our existence to the villagers. I'm guessing it worked. What now? I think that our best plan is to escape from the village.
That won't work. You think this many of us could really escape? It's impossible. There's nowhere outside the village where all of us could hope to hide.
I guess you're right.
I see. So Toshio was finally able to persuade the villagers.
In any case, Ozaki's the problem. Eliminate him. If you chop off the snake's head, then its body will flail around uselessly. Then you can attack the villagers to reduce their numbers. And order the new victims to kill each other. They can do our work for us.
Right away.
And cut off all contact with the outside world.
Roger.
Chizuru, I'm sorry this is how you met your end. Mocked and killed.
Sunako.
If I had known this would happen, I would have killed your friend. I would have done it gladly.
You should go. You don't know, Toshio. You'll keep on.
Never! We are so close to succeeding here. The village is almost ours. Are you feeling sick?
No. Well, no more than I expected.
Hey, could you tell me why he did it? Why he had to kill his younger brother?
He who?
The man in the novel you're writing.
Oh, I don't know the answer.
Okay, then what about you?
What?
That scar on your wrist. Why did you want to kill yourself?
Oh, I don't know that either.
That's strange.
I suppose.
But I know why. He couldn't really live unless his brother died. That's why he killed him.
I see. He was like your people?
That's right. We kill because it's the only way for us to live. That has always been the only reason. Where there is intent, there is always a reason.
I was right. I suspected you were the one who wrote on my manuscript.
What kind of place is this?
It's not a clinic. It's a hideout for the Shiki.
I asked somebody to run an errand for me to bring me your manuscript from the temple. I wanted to read it at any cost.
Good timing, since it probably won't ever be published. The village and I will both be gone before then.
So these are all Shiki? No, probably not. These are corpses that haven't risen. They've switched the coffins at the funerals.
I'm sorry. What I'm doing to you is awful.
I came here of my own free will. No one made me.
I want to read it. The whole book.
I'll go see what's happening down there.
Tsurumi!
No, stop it, please!
There's no one here. Did they escape during the night? It's empty in here, too.
Is this where you were, Seishin?
What are you doing? If we break all the windows and let sunlight in, they won't be able to seek refuge here. We can do that much at least.
Good thinking, old man. All right, let's do it. Destroy all windows. Cupboards they could hide in, too. Level the enemy's bases.
Is what Sunako said actually true? And if it is, does that mean I harbor an intent to kill the villagers? Is that why I abandoned them?
Mr. Muroi? What is it?
Well, at least they didn't find this little hiding spot.
And above?
Terrible losses. More than 30% of our own were killed.
What about Seishiro?
He's not back yet. I think it's time for us to escape. Unfortunately, I don't know how. Right now, it's impossible. Their hunters are still guarding the house. I was able to sneak in, but just barely. Sunako?
We have to find Seishiro. He's been acting increasingly hasty and irrational since the villagers killed Chizuru.
I think he can take care of himself.
He can't!
Get it together. I'm going to find a way to escape. Don't go anywhere till I come back. You'll be fine here with him. Stay here for a second, Sunako.
When Chizuru died, Sunako took charge immediately, hiding any sadness or pain she felt. But Seishiro's absence has her visibly upset.
There's nothing strange about that.
I suppose that there isn't. She's worried because he's like a father to her.
No, that's not it at all. She's worried because he's a human who accepted her as a shiki.
And Yumaiti?
It's a matter of time. Soon enough, somebody will think to look out there, too.
Right.
They found the pipeline. The hunters dragged out anybody inside and hammered stakes into them.
Chizuru, did it hurt much? Mr. Muroi, do you think a stake can pierce the chest with one stroke?
Sunako.
Even after all this time, I have the body of a child. My bones are fragile, and my chest is thin. So if they strike as hard as they can, I think it'll go all the way through me the first time. I'm scared. Isn't it funny? Just think about how many people I've killed. I've been killing humans for so many years. I doubt you could find anybody who's murdered more people than me. As punishment for that, I'm going to die. But I'm still scared. The sun will be up soon. Hunters have the house surrounded. They can make their raid any time and find us down here. But I'll be fast asleep. Why? If I was a character in a novel, someone would show up right in time, and then there would be a miraculous rescue. But no prince is going to magically appear to save me now. No god will look down at me from on high and find me worthy of any sort of miracle. I'm not going to be saved because I'm a killer.
What have I done wrong? I'm not malicious, I just fed myself, that's all. If I don't eat, then I'll starve to death, but maybe that's what I should have done, Mr. Motherway. Am I a bad person because I didn't choose that death? Please, I need you to answer! I didn't become a creature like this because I wanted to. But I have a life and I don't want to lose it. Does that make me evil? Does it? This is what it truly means to be forsaken.
It'll be okay. I'm here. And so's Tatsumi.
The villagers will charge in here as soon as morning comes. I know they will. And that'll be the end of us.
You should get some rest. I'll make sure you're able to escape.
No! How can I rest with all this happening? I'll fall asleep and never see either of you again. Why don't you understand that?
We're gonna be just fine.
I know you're lying. I'm not ready to say goodbye yet. I want to stay awake as long as I can. This is awful.
Sunako.
Yes.
I'm glad that we met. I understand myself much better because of our friendship.
I helped you understand.
Yes.
If that's true, tell me, why were you so desperate to kill yourself?
Because I felt such despair.
That's not it. Well, not all of it anyway. No, there's more.
Is there? The younger brother had to die because of the older brother's despair.
Go on.
The younger brother was the elder's link to the outside world. Through him, the older brother was connected to others, as well as to the darkest parts of himself. When he faced his hollowed-eyed sibling, he explained that he had not murdered him out of hatred. His brother replied that he knew. That was the first time the Shiki spoke. By killing me, you set me
Free from that prison. That's how I saw the land in which we lived, a prison controlled by God. In order that I might curry his favor, I played the part of a good man, forever doing what was right.
And so I lived a repressed life, hiding my true self. I grew to hate it. I saw no other choice but to live that way.
So I stayed in my prison and did what I was told, like a good boy. And all that time I envied you. You were my total opposite. You were free.
So that's why he followed. The younger brother was seeking his opposite.
Exactly. He realized that together they could be whole. They needed one another.
But why did the older brother lose hope?
So thank you. I was waiting such a long time for you to kill me.
The older brother could only stare until his sibling disappeared. It was not yet time for the Shiki to return to their graves, but no matter where he looked, he could find no sign of his brother. He called out for his brother by name for the first time since his death. Then he realized the name he called was his own. He'd never had a brother. He was indeed a killer, but he was also the one who was killed. The younger brother was born of his own despair, and in order to rid himself of that despair, he killed his brother. And in doing so, he killed a part of himself. My father. Did he feel the same despair? Was the temple his prison?
They figured it out. It isn't safe here anymore. We need to leave.
Run away?
The villagers know where we are.
But the roads out of the village are all shut down.
I know of another way out of here. This won't shield the light perfectly. You'll need to keep it in the dark as much as possible.
Right.
Mr. Moroi, I realize that I've been asking a lot of favors of you lately, but take care of her.
And you?
I'll act as a decoy.
May I ask you something?
Yeah, what is it?
Why do you serve Sunako instead of the other way around? From what I know, Jinros seem more powerful than ordinary Shiki.
You see Jinro as superior? If Chizuru were still alive, she'd be furious with you. I wonder how Sunako would react for that matter. It doesn't have anything to do with our relative strength. For me, at least, it's more of a personal matter. I've always seen Sunako as a symbol of survival. The world is collapsing constantly. Everything must end. But she confronts the collapse and fights against it. And I find that fascinating. Fascinating and beautiful.
And that's it? In the end, I guess that's enough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here it again. Here it comes.
Toshio, did you see that?
Yeah.
We'll go after him. Can you see to the injured?
Yeah.
If you can move, come with me. The temple?
So it seems.
Split up and search ahead.
He just left and didn't come back. We don't know what happened to him.
Didn't come back? That doesn't make sense. You didn't see him come in just now.
No, I already told you.
What are you suggesting?
Don't play dumb. He's here. We followed him in. Mrs. Moroi, we need to search the house.
They're collaborators.
Why?
Tell me where you're hiding them now.
Of all people, how could they betray us?
Enough already.
Hey!
Let's get out! Take them down!
The junior monk escaped into the mountains. They're going up after him now.
Okay.
We know he's injured. Follow the blood trail. find him? No! We can't see well out here! He couldn't have gone far injured!
Mr. Malloy! Mr. Malloy? Oh no! What happened? Mr. Malloy, please! Stay with me! Please don't die! I need you, Toko!
I heard something! It was a girl's voice! It's him! We must have gotten ahead of him! It came from there! Spread out and surround them. They can see in the dark. Rely on your ears. There it is again! This way! Where are they? Did you find them? There she is! Your mighty's burning! Report it to the shrine! Yeah, right. Tell the doctor we need to cut down the trees. We can't let the fire spread to the village. Leave this one to me. You won't get away! Don't worry, she hasn't been out of our sight long. She couldn't have gotten very far. Damn it!
This, I don't have time to waste playing with a kid. It was you and your kind that started all this.
Why was I forsaken as a child? Why didn't you do something to stop it? Why did you remain silent when I needed you? Why did you let it happen? I didn't choose to become your enemy. It wasn't my fault. But you don't care, do you? You won't even try to forgive me? It wasn't my fault!
A creature like you hides in here? Does this mean you're ready to give up now, demon girl? What are you scared of? You've seen plenty of death in your time. Finished. It's time to give up.
No! Please don't! Please don't kill me!
You little murderess, you don't deserve my mercy. In this world, there are crimes too depraved to ever be forgiven. There are certain unstated rules for living in a village. Rules that go back far too many generations to count. Outsiders are welcome as long as they adapt to village ways. We're a community here. We work together. We protect each other. In a village, the young don't die before the old. These simple rules keep places like Sotaba alive through the years. But you and your family have torn that apart. I'm going to send you back to the hell you came from. You'll never rise up again, Shiki!
place will burn down soon. We should hurry.
I'm staying here.
Sunako.
Will you stay with me, please? I won't go. I finally realized that it's time for me to die. I was forsaken by God long ago. I don't deserve to live.
Please, listen. Everything that's happened made me realize something too.
What?
I realized God is always silent, no matter who you are. And so that silence has absolutely nothing to do with life and death, or good and evil.
What do you mean?
Think about it, Sunako. Everything changed when you became Shiki. You were cast out into darkness, excluded from God's domain, left unprotected. Without God, there's no sin, and so you can never be accused of sinning.
That's terrible.
Still, you continue to live your life unable to abandon your deep attachment to God, even though He's abandoned you.
Such a sad ending.
Damn it. They can probably see those flames out in Mizobe, and the fire trucks are on their way. There's no choice. It's up to the fire now. After all that, the village is still gonna die. I guess I lost now, didn't I?
Is that it? Wins and losses? This isn't a game.
No, you're right. I did everything I could. In the end, it may have just been a pointless struggle.
Oki na yume 目指し